Today we're going to discuss the question of should we take single embryo transfer when you do IVF or you should take multiple embryos transfer. I think this question has many confounders to take a decision on. First of all, it is the age of the lady. Second, at what is your IVF attempt? Is it your first attempt or is it multiple attempts? And thirdly, what is the stage of the embryo development and what is the quality of an embryo? Let's take one by one. What is the age of a person? Somebody who is at an older age, by law, we are allowed to put 2 or 3 embryos because chance of getting pregnancies are very less. The problem comes that when you put multiple embryos, especially when you put multiple blastocysts, the chances of multi-pregnancy is very high. That means having twins or triplets is very common. So at our place, we generally do not put beyond 2 embryos and we still get a very good success rate. But getting a pregnancy, having triplet is not success of IVF. Rather, I consider that as a massive failure. Because if you put 3 embryos and you will end up getting a triplet pregnancy, the chance that you will have to undergo a selective reduction is high, which itself is a very problematic procedure, and a few of these selective reduction patients of the fetus can land up into problems or will have bleeding and they will be stick to the bed rest. Again, chances that a multiple pregnancy or a twin pregnancy having early delivery is very high. So again, the cost of NICU, cesareans, etc. will keep climbing up. So we prefer putting as less embryos as possible. So when do we put 2 embryos? We will put 2 embryos only if it is an older couple or if she has tried multiple attempts of IVF and she has not been successful. Otherwise, putting one single good morphology blastocyst is good enough for somebody who is less than 35 years of age. But beyond 35 years of age, the chances of aneuploidy or chromosomal abnormalities going through miscarriages of the baby or implantation failure is very, very high. So when a lady is beyond 35 years, especially beyond 38 years, and she is attempting IVF, yes, we would love to go ahead with a single embryo transfer, but we would do a PGTA to identify that this embryo is a euploid embryo. That means it is a chromosomally normal embryo, and then we will put a single chromosomally normal embryo, and that climbs up your success rate, as the literature says, to about 73 to 78%. A nice study, a retrospective Nature by Pitria et al. Published recently said that if we have 3 successful single embryo transfers, all euploid embryos, the cumulative live birth rate is to the tune of 92%, and that's pretty high. So for the women who are beyond 35 years, putting a euploid single blastocyst makes all the sense. Then, if you are putting cleavage stage embryos, that the embryos which are not grown to blastocyst, in our practice, we have really decreased on doing cleavage stage transfer unless we are compelled to do one. We prefer doing more and more of blastocyst transfers. But if at all we are doing a cleavage stage transfer, especially when you accumulate embryos, we prefer putting 2 cleavage stage good morphology embryos so that you can have either a singleton pregnancy, and about 15 to 17% of the pregnancies can result into twins. More you have singleton pregnancies with IVF, better is the live birth rate and better is the prognosis of that patient. And a singleton pregnancy faces much less problems during the course of pregnancy compared to a twin or a triplet pregnancy. So to summarize, I would say preferably put a single blastocyst for somebody who is less than 35 years of age. More than 35 years, do a PGTA and put a single blastocyst. And if you're having cleavage stage embryos, put 2 cleavage stage embryos. We amply see a lot of IVF clinics putting 3 and 4 embryos, and just for the sake of getting a pregnancy. But believe me, loads of them land up into multiple pregnancies and abortions and all the kinds of obstetrical problems. To an extent, these couples start hating the whole process of IVF and they feel all they suffered and all their expenditure, which was exponentially high because of obstetric complications and even sometimes life-threatening, was entirely because of the process of IVF. Actually, it's not the process of IVF which is putting you into problem. It is an attitude of putting more embryos which is putting into problem. I hope this helps you. Thank you.